how to know if you're creeping her out and how to stop. Guys, if you have ever felt like you creeped out a girl or your approach was going to be creepy if you spoke to the girl, I have some news for you. It probably was. And that's because the concept I want to teach you in this video is that creepiness and the perception that other people have of the way you interact with people, if you feel that it's creepy, then it's probably creepy. However, if the same situation could have happened that you perceived as creepy, but someone else thought, nah, this is cool, it's not creepy at all, and no one's going to think it's creepy when they do it. And the reason is because of they own it. They don't worry about it. That energy that you give off when you just don't worry what someone else is thinking about you around you, when you're totally in the moment and totally confident in what you're doing, people cannot perceive it as creepy or weird. And in this video, I'm going to break down why that is. But first off, I want to say that I struggled with this for a long time. I could never approach women for many years. I was the guy who didn't have a serious relationship until he was 26 years old, didn't lose his virginity till he was 21, didn't have his first kiss till he was 21. I was a total late bloomer, and I struggled with dating. And especially I struggled with coming off and feeling like my approach towards a woman was going to be creepy, was going to be perceived as creepy. And it's that being in my head about it, that when I presented myself, I was already in my head and not really present with the woman. That's what made the situation creepy. That's what creeped the woman out. That's what made me seem like more of a stalker or some weird dude or maybe dangerous. And there's also, so like the mindset is a huge part of this. Huge part of this. But then the way it's presented outwardly, to people, the way you can change the presentation, the physical presentation, will also make a difference in whether or not you're perceived as creepy or cool. And so I'll explain a little bit about that difference and show you the contrast of someone who's super creepy and someone who's in the same situation but is totally cool. So let me make that distinction really quick. So imagine someone, like if you close your eyes and you imagine someone at a party, at a big party, who seems creepy, who seems weird, who you're worried might be a real danger to somebody. Imagine that man. Imagine what he looks like. Now, everyone's probably imagining someone slightly different. So I'm going to tell you what I imagine. I imagine a guy who is like hunched over, who is dirty, who has like a dirty, nasty beard. I imagine someone who can't make eye contact with people, who isn't smiling, and who has this sort of like weird tone in his voice when he speaks, and he doesn't speak very much, and he's kind of just got all of this energy he's giving off that's very weird. So he looks kind of homeless and dirty and nasty, but he also physically is displaying these traits that are uncomfortable, that make people uncomfortable, that make him seem like he's uncomfortable in his own skin, which makes us uncomfortable around him. Right? That's the mindset perception. He is probably in his own head, has insecurities, is expressing them outwardly, like letting them out. And that is what's making us uncomfortable. We all have insecurities, but we sort of keep them to ourselves. And then the way we package ourselves and show ourselves off to the world is a little bit more bright and a little bit more like charismatic, at least as best as we can, which invites people in to interact with us and feel safe interacting with us. So let's take that same guy, okay? And I'm going to give you two perceptions of him. Number one, let's keep the body language the same, but let's change the physical attributes. So let's put him in a nice outfit. Let's give him muscles, and let's give him like a clean haircut, like clean shaven. He looks good. Let's just say he looks really good, okay, physically. But then the way he's standing and interacting with people doesn't change. Okay, so he's still hunched over. He's still closed in, kind of reserved with his arms. He's still not making eye contact. He still has this dead look on his face. And he still is interacting with people with like this weird monotone. And he's not really looking you in the eyes. And he's kind of just barely interacting with you and kind of mumbling to himself. Are you still freaked out by that guy? Yeah, I would be. I would still be uncomfortable. In fact, now that he has muscles, I'm more uncomfortable. I'm more like, this is so weird because now he's like good looking, but he's not charismatic at all. He's I don't know. He's very strange now. Like his whole energy is still weird and intimidating. But let's take the same guy and we're gonna flip it. So now we're gonna say that his physical attributes change, but his appearance stays the same. So imagine the same guy, but he has a dirty, unkept beard. He hasn't showered. He has bad breath. He looks nasty. His outfit is just not put together. He just looks lazy. But he's standing up straight, strong posture. He's smiling. He's making eye contact. He's actually using his hands a little bit, and he's speaking with a good tone. He's speaking loudly. He's engaging with you. He's standing at a safe distance. He's saying, "Hey, how's it going, guys? How y'all doing tonight?" Even though he's got all this, like, even though he's nasty looking, and you kind of don't want to get near him, you would talk to him. You'd be like, you might even be comfortable, like, kind of calling it out, and be like, "Bro, man, what's up with the fit? You're not looking that great today, man." Nah, I'm just messing with you. Or damn, what's that smell? Nah, I wouldn't talk about somebody's smell. But the point I'm saying is that if you imagine those two guys, even though both of them have problems, the guy who is like physically attractive, who has like the appearance outwardly that you want, but he's giving you this weird energy, is more intimidating than the guy who's nasty but gives you a great vibe. You ever met a homeless person who has like a great vibe and you're like, I'm not gonna hang out with him because he's homeless and he just wants my money, but I love his energy. He seems really nice. Energy and vibe makes such a big difference in whether or not you're perceived as creepy. And I'll give you a moment. In fact, a video I posted on my YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok that you can see where some people thought I was being creepy. And I'll explain the situation. And I was driving. I was driving and I saw a girl while I was driving. And I pulled over and parked to approach the girl. And so in a lot of cases, most people thought that that is really cool. That's really confident. That's really interesting. But a couple people thought it was super creepy. Now, why? What is creepy about that? There's nothing creepy about it. There's nothing creepy about it because what would make it creepy is me stalking her. I didn't stalk her. As soon as I saw her, I made the decision, okay, I'm going to approach that girl. I just need to pull over. Obviously, I'm not going to approach her from my car. That's weird. So I'm going to pull over so I can approach her like a man to her face. I immediately pulled over. I immediately walked straight to her and approached her. What would have made it weird? There's two ways I could have made it weird. If I had circled around and drove around and looked at her, that would have been weird because now I'm like stalking her. Or if I had gotten out of the car, pulled over, and walked up, but then I kind of danced around and I kind of like looked at some clothes and I was pretending to like build up, I was building up the courage, but I was waiting for a good opportunity. That's weird because what's not weird is making a decision as a man. I want that girl, so I'm gonna go talk to that girl, and then going straight up to her, no hesitation, and talking to the girl. That alignment mentally, that I'm confident, this is what I want, I'm gonna go get it. I don't care about the situation. Means it's not creepy. Automatically, it's not creepy, and you can see the reaction of the girl and her friends. That's why I did this. Her friends all had super positive reactions to me approaching. And if I had been kind of lurking around the area without immediately approaching her because I was nervous and I thought to myself, this is kind of weird. This is kind of creepy that I just like pulled over. Like, that's kind of weird. That's not really normal to do. So what I'm doing is kind of weird. I would give off this I am weird and creepy and I think I am energy. And that is what would repel the girls. That is what would make them cautious of me. Not the way I dress, not the situation where I approached, just the energy I'm giving off because of physically what I may be doing, which that closed offness, that shoulder hunching, that not making eye contact. When you're pondering whether or not you're gonna approach a girl, you don't make eye contact with her. You make eye contact when you decided, I'm gonna approach this girl. I don't care how she reacts. Let's go. Then you're definitely gonna make eye contact. You're gonna smile, and you're gonna give off a good energy and good vibe, and you're gonna be received much better than if you had just been dancing around the idea of approaching her. You're thinking about it too much. You're not looking at her because you're still trying to make the decision in your own head. That's what makes you perceived outwardly as creepy. So it's the physical and it's the mental. And that is what will lead you to seeming creepy. And now here you have some steps to not seem creepy, to be able to approach confidently and be perceived well by the people around you. No one in any of my approaches, whether they're video or not, has ever told me what I'm doing is creepy. In fact, people who watch me and see me get rejected or interact with a girl are usually admiring me or have respect towards me. And the girls always respond positively, even if they reject me. So, guys, if this is something you're struggling with and you want some help getting over these humps, these challenges that show up when you're trying to approach women and get over this anxiety and seem less creepy and be able to have better interactions with women, meet more women, go on more dates, and have the dating life that you truly desire, then you can schedule a call at the link below to work with me one-on-one. And we can talk about your situation and how we can overcome these challenges together. Anyway, guys, that's all for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.